Okay, now for our final presenter, I'd like to invite Ms. Christina Chia, who must be really relieved at this point. She is a specialist teacher and associate fellow with the Register of Educational Therapists Asia, or RETA. She will present her research on the potential of working memory training on students with dyslexia. Ms. Chia works extensively with students with learning differences from both local mainstream and international schools. Many of her students have difficulties remembering despite repeated exposure, and this has led to her interest in working memory and the impact it has on education and daily life. Ms. Chia.
Hi, thank you. Okay, how many of you here are educators or parents who teach your kids? Okay, so have you experienced this where you teach your child something and you forget like really easily? And you can repeat it over and over again. Maybe teach it in a different context or format. Break it down to its simplest form and you still forget? Yeah? Okay. Well, the problem may not be that they don't understand, but it could be their working memory. Okay, so what is working memory? Working memory is a cognitive system that allows us to hold and manipulate information online for a few seconds during problem solving or other cognitive activity. So it's like a post-it note in your mind which you store and hold information. It allows us to store knowledge and some experience, allows us to go into our long-term memory, pull what we need, mix it, process it, and we apply it to our current goal. And our current goal is not like I want to be the president of Singapore, but something more mundane like, I like that cookie, or where did I park my car? Okay, so all this happens in working memory. Okay, for those of you who drive, remember the days before GPS? Okay, I think it's quite a distant memory nowadays. But you know when you got lost, trying to find a place while you were driving, so what would you do? You'll kind of stop your car, by somebody who looks kind of familiar, like he knew the place, and you stop and ask him for directions, right? And this guy will say, okay, you will go straight, take the third right turn, go straight for 50 meters, at the roundabout, you take the first left, and you go straight some more, and you take the second right. Okay, you know, by which time you're like, okay, you know, and all this happens in memory, working memory, and you have to drive and remember all this. Okay, now I'm going to try something with all of you. And I want you to remember 5 words and don't write it down, okay? While I say the 5 words, after that I'm going to ask 3 things of you to do. So the 5 words are airport, glass, tunnel, universe, and hydrogen. Okay? Now I want you to tell me what is 96 times 7? Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Now, can you take out your left hand and count to 10? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Can you recite to me the last 5 alphabets or 5 letters in the alphabet backwards? And you start with Z. Right, okay. How many of you can still remember the 5 words? Pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. Okay, so all that's happening in working memory. And working memory is really important to the way we function because we face so many decisions and experiences every day. You're now sitting in this session. You are evaluating the talk and you may have some follow-up questions after this. So all this takes place in working memory. It allows you to go to the supermarket to buy bread, milk, and cheese when what you really want is chocolate and ice cream. But working memory has a limited capacity. Unless we do something with the information that we get, process it, talk to somebody, apply it, we will not remember it. So this limit has an impact on us. Have you walked from one room to another and forgotten why you're there? So what do? You walk back to the first room, right? Have you forgotten your keys? Your car? Your kids? Okay, there are some things that are demanding to working memory, things that are novel and abstract. Can you say the first 10 letters of the alphabet from A? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Okay, this is not demanding because we know it so well. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few more examples after this. Things that are delayed over time. So we're in the school holidays now. How many of you can remember the date, the first day that you had to go back to school, the date of the first day? Okay, for those who are parents, how many of you can remember the name of your kid's form teacher? Very good. How many of you can remember what days your kids have to stay back or have tuition? Okay. Now, I want you to read this. This is taken from my son's physics book when he was in Sec 3 last year. Okay, so just take a read at this first. Okay, do you know what isotopes are? Yeah, okay. So this passage assumes a lot of background knowledge on neutrons, electrons, protons, etc. And if you don't have that background knowledge, you spend a lot of resources processing it, and because it's so abstract, anything can be the main point, right? So the less you know about isotopes, the more time you spend processing abstract information, and that's really demanding. So you picture a dyslexic child who has problems decoding. So he has to decode word by word. After he decodes the first word, he has to hold it in his mind and go to the second word. Decode and go to the next, right? And he needs to finish the whole sentence to figure out what the sentence is about. So you can imagine the sentence is quite long, but by the time he reaches halfway through, he's probably forgotten the first bit of the sentence. So it's very demanding for a dyslexic child or somebody with low working memory. Okay, this is another example. It's a math question, and it's also taken from my son's maths book when he was in Sec 2. Okay, so take a read. Okay, and don't ask me, I can't solve it. So, you know, before the kids can begin to even solve the question, they need to understand what is required of them. And they have to go into their long-term memory to pull out stuff that is relevant to this. And you know, there are quite a few concepts and steps involved to solve this problem. And at the end of it, they need to know that they need to use a quadratic equation to solve it. Okay? So that's just academic, but what about sports? Say there's an inter-class basketball competition, and everyone has to participate. So at halftime, the coach gives a series of instructions. And the coach says, and say your son is Ian, okay? Okay, I've got to read this because it's quite a lot. So the coach says, okay, Shane, block Tom. And John, pass the ball to Ian. Ian, look around and don't lose the ball and pass it to Peter. Jack, you got Paul. And Peter, you stay near the basket, and whatever you do, just wait for Ian to pass you the ball. Don't run with the ball. Remember, don't run with the ball, and don't look at the cheerleaders. Okay, sounds easy, right? Okay, you got to remember that when you are playing a sport, you're not doing it alone, especially in basketball, nor is everything at a standstill. Okay, a lot of things are happening at that point in time. You've got people cheering the crowd, you've got your opponents blocking you, you've got the cheerleaders, you've got to remember the rules of the game, then you have to remember your coach's instructions. So all this is happening in working memory. So it gets really very demanding for a child who has problems with working memory. So for those with poor working memory, struggle a great deal to meet the heavy demands placed on working memory in daily life. But if there was something that could be done to help improve working memory, I mean, wouldn't that be quite amazing? I thought it would be, because you know, I have to deal with kids who really have very low working memory. I have this child that I taught for a year, and I would see him twice a week. He sees me every day at school, but he sees me one-on-one every day, twice a week. For 1 year, every time he saw me, he'll ask me what my name is. Every time, you know, and it's not like he was kidding, he really couldn't remember. So studies have shown that working memory can actually be improved, and this can be done by training it very intensively using a computer software. And studies have been done on kids with ADHD, LD, low working memory, and even for typically developing kids. And they have seen improvements in working memory, other cognitive abilities like attention and reasoning, and even the training, the positive results transferring to the academic domains like reading, comprehension, and mathematics. So it's quite amazing that this can happen. So then, you know, if you look at this side, you see the people that the studies have been conducted on. You notice that you don't see dyslexic kids, right? I wondered why too myself, given that working memory impairments is one of the main characteristics of dyslexics. The question then became, would this work on dyslexic kids? So that was really the basis of my study. I did a research looking at working memory training on students with dyslexia. Would this be as beneficial to them? What would the impact be? And would it transfer to reading comprehension? Okay. So I had 23 kids from DAS participate in my study, and I had kids from primary 4 to Sec 3. And they all had a confirmed diagnosis of dyslexia. And one of the criteria was they would have a computer with internet access at home because they would train at home. So the kids were randomly assigned into two groups. One group being the experimental group that trained for 5 times a week, and the control group that trained twice a week. And both groups trained for 4 weeks during the school holidays, and this was done in June last year, 1 year ago. And before they did the working memory training itself, I had to perform a pre and post assessment on them. And I used the wide, it's a REMIL, I used the wide range achievement of memory and learning to assess attention and concentration as well as working memory. And I used the wide achievement test for teachers to assess reading comprehension. And parents, I got them to rate their child's behavior using this form called the Behavior Rating Inventory of Executive Function. So this was done pre and post training. And for the computerized training, we used this software called NBAC. And how it worked is the kids had to listen for this voice that would say letters out. And when the letters match the other letter N times back, they will press a button. So for example, if it's too bad, the voice will say Q, S, T, S. And S was said 2 letters back, so you press the letter to match it. But it will still continue. So it will continue with R, T, R, and you press it because it's 2 letters back, right? So they would do this. One trial would last about 30 seconds, and they would do 20 trials each time. So one whole training would be about 30 minutes. And if they scored above 80%, the level of difficulty will increase by 1. So everyone started at 2 back. So if you score 80% or more, it'll move to 3 back. So it's 3 letters back. Okay, and if you score between 50 to 79%, the level of difficulty maintained, and if it was below 50%, it'll drop by 1. So what this program did was to adapt to the performance of the child. So it's what we call adaptive. And this is what the child would see. It's a grid with a blue square and a voice. Okay, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay, what I want you to do, this is 2 back. So tell me to press it when you hear that it's it was repeated 2 letters back. I'm going to start it now.
K S S S T S T
If it's green, means it's right.
S
Press.
S T
Okay.
T
If it's red, means it's wrong.
T S Q S S L Q L H L K C K
Okay, so that's 79%. But not good enough to get to the next level. Okay, so that was one round. They had to do 20 of that each day. Okay, so you can see at the slide, at the end of each game or each trial, you'll see the number of trials that they had done. So they had to do 20, okay, and the scores are here. Okay, so what were the results? Okay, the moment of truth. Okay, remember this has not been done on dyslexic, and this has not been done in Singapore before. Okay? So there was a significant improvement in attention and concentration for the experimental group, which was quite a big thing. I was very excited with this, but we did not see any improvements in the other areas. But still, it's quite exciting because it showed that parts of your working memory can indeed be trained in kids with, for kids with dyslexia. Yeah. So, and moving forward, for those of you who are interested in doing a research on working memory training, here are some considerations that you might want to think about. Okay, the first is the working memory training program itself. Okay, just now you saw what the program looked like. It was quite boring, right? Okay, you know, in today's world, the kids are so exposed to high-tech, fast-paced, lifelike animation. This was really, you know, it was like pulling out their teeth. It was quite painful for them to do. They all complain non-stop, boring, 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 boring. So, yeah. Of course, there are other programs that you can use that are more engaging, that has fun and music and movement and games in the story. Just need to buy them. Okay. And you know, researchers have in this field have said that fun and engagement are two very important components that you need to keep the child interested, especially when you're doing working memory training on the computer. So that increases motivation, and this applies not just to kids but adults too. Okay, the next is the time and place. They trained at home, so it was highly convenient, but you know, I didn't know whether they were in a quiet room or they were in a room with their siblings, they were fighting. I mean, I had instances of all of that. Some woke up very early in the morning, first thing in the morning to train, and they were doing it half asleep. And some did it very late at night, past midnight, so they were really tired. And because it was so boring, some got highly creative and started multitasking. Like this picture, they were playing on their handphones while they were training. Shamelessly, they would admit to me. Okay? So my suggestion would be, you know what, I think we should do it in a school where the place at least is consistent, you know where it is, in a quiet room with an aide present. So the aide will ensure that the kids don't multitask and stay on track and do what they're supposed to do. I mean, at home, the parents will ensure that they adhere to their schedule, but they couldn't control whether they were on task. So in the school, perhaps it would be a better suggestion. Also, because it was held during the school holidays, the kids complain, oh, extra homework, grumble, 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 okay? If it was done during curriculum time, I think that would help, you know, make it a more positive experience. And all this, I think, will help in ensuring tighter treatment fidelity. And the last is the sample size. My sample size was very small. I had just 23 kids. So as a result, I couldn't do a whole lot of analysis. It was quite basic. Of course, if you can get a larger size, you know, it will allow for much deeper analysis. So that's what you might want to think about. So the studies that I showed you earlier on ADHD kids, kids with LD, low working memory, and even typically developing kids, have shown to benefit from working memory training, not just cognitively, but even academically. In my study, I mean, I'm quite happy that we've seen components of working memory that can be trained. And of course, more studies are needed to examine if training can also transfer to other cognitive areas as well as academic domains in dyslexic kids. Okay, so that's my session. Thank you very much.